Hi, my name's Little Woo, and welcome to Woohoo Wednesday, a time of the week when I like to answer existential questions that I've received and share a little piece of insight or inspiration for your week. Today's question is, what is happiness to me? Or how do I define happiness? That's such a great question, and I had lots of fun thinking about it. For me, happiness is, or I feel happy when I am remembering and recognizing and feeling the majesty of this universe. This majesty is, my definition of majesty is this feeling of interconnectedness, the feeling of sacredness, the feeling of the universe's greater intelligence, brilliance, and the deeper meaning that maybe as humans we don't always have a conscious access to, but there is great meaning in this brilliant intelligence that is also a form of what we call love. And it's an impersonal kind of love. It's not love for a specific person, but a sense of complete union. So when I remember the majesty of this universe, then I feel happy. And that means that happiness is based on my ability to remember and my ability to recognize that. It's not based on external conditions. So no matter what's happening in my life, as long as I can stay tuned in to that truth, to that feeling that I have known to be true in my life, then my whole temperament changes, my feeling changes. I remember what's important to me, and that is to express the joy and gratitude for this universe's brilliance and this majesty that may not always be apparent. There are times in life when things are really difficult, and we need to remember, even in those times, that this is all part of this experience on Earth, and every experience is part of that majesty. And so once I feel this happiness, then it tends to generate this willingness, this life force, this 3 levels of desire inside me that I've noticed. When I am tuned into that majesty, then I have 3 desires. I have a cultivation of the desire to learn, a cultivation of the desire to love, and a cultivation of the desire to create. Those are 3 things that are guiding forces in my life: to learn, to love, and to create. And I'm going to talk about each one of them a little bit more. Desire to learn to me is such a natural joy, and it brings me so much happiness. It's not dependent on perfect conditions or even pleasant conditions, and the world doesn't have to be a specific way for me to learn, and I don't have to be perfect in order to learn. So it's a great state to cultivate the desire and willingness, giving yourself permission and the freedom to keep learning. And no matter what's going on in your life, you can always learn something from it. And if you do it with the true attitude of a true student, then you actually find joy and happiness from learning. Lots of times people have grown up in conditions where maybe the school that they were in was not pleasant, or maybe the teachings didn't feel applicable, so school wasn't fun. But when you get past that institution and you actually find places of true learning, where learning and wisdom are valued and knowledge is shared, then learning is always fun. It's always fun. It's always gratifying when it's coming from that place where you actually feel like you're expanding, you're evolving. So to me, that's one great joy in life. And again, that comes from the source of feeling the majesty of the universe. When you feel the majesty, you want to learn. I remember when most children, when you introduce them to biology, to nature, they're fascinated. They're fascinated by the majesty of nature. And I remember watching kids and myself as a child being absolutely fascinated by dinosaurs. It's just the idea that these giant creatures existed was just mind-blowing. And so, I go to a natural history museum and my mind is just blown. And adults have that capacity if we just keep cultivating it. We have to keep cultivating that fascination with the majesty of the universe, and that generates the desire to learn. And then the second thing that is a natural joy for me is the desire to love. And of course, through life, we can go through things that happen that make us afraid to love, and feel that maybe the world is not going to love us either. So there's a feeling of rejection or abandonment or neglect that we've experienced that might make love a tricky subject. But in our deepest nature is the desire to love, the desire to connect, the desire to be in union with people. And even someone who thinks that they're a loner actually has great capacity to love. They've just been wounded and decided to remove themselves from society. We all have different levels of extroversion and introversion. But a person who really feels that they want nothing to do with humanity is someone who is wounded. And so when we reconnect to the majesty of the universe, then we have a natural desire to love. We want to learn about people. We want to love people. We naturally love people. And it's easy to love when you feel the majesty of other humans too. And you feel the majesty of this planet. It's easy to love the planet. A lot of people find it easy to love nature and animals because they didn't feel wounded by nature or animals. So they feel the majesty of nature. And then their love is very profound and natural. And so that desire to love is not dependent on any reciprocity. So you don't focus on how many people are loving me back. It's more about, oh, I see you and I love you and this is how I feel. And then you just have this you generate love. You don't ask for it. You don't beg for it. You don't walk around seeking it. You're just walking around feeling it. And that's the same as happiness. You don't walk around begging to be happy. You generate happiness with how you feel and how you see the world. So if you see people and you see their majesty, you see their beauty, you see nature's beauty, then you can't help but fall in love everywhere you go. And the final thing I'm going to talk about is the desire to create. That's another form of happiness. And it also comes from seeing the majesty of this universe. It makes you want to create. When I was younger, I loved creating through art. And that was my main vehicle for self-expression. And I loved to create drawings and all kinds of other art forms and stories. And so in your life, if you think about all the different ways you create, and I'm not talking about artistic creations only, I'm talking pure creation, all kinds of creation. Your business is a creation, your family is a creation, your co-creation between you, your partners, your kids, your wider family and your community. And so all of these forms of creation are expressions of your love, are expressions of your learning, and are expressions of your ability to appreciate the majesty on this planet. So a creator who loves to create has a natural sense of that connection to the universe. And so you don't have to have certain belief systems. You can be of any faith. You can have many different kinds of beliefs and still be a conscious creator. It's not based on a religion. It's based on a feeling of a life force, a desire. You have a vision and then you have a desire, and that propels you to create. So again, creation is not based or reliant on external conditions. You don't have to have the perfect amount of money, the perfect amount of tools, or education to create. You can create from where you are, through your imagination and through your desire and through your life force that you give to whatever you wish to create. So if you give your creation time every day, then it will grow. And then the tools, the resources, and the knowledge that you need will come to you. It comes to you because of your desire. So these three desires are not dependent on perfect conditions in the world, and it's not dependent on perfect conditions in yourself. It's dependent on your willingness to express your life force and your willingness to keep loving and learning, and your desire to create comes from this majesty, this sense of connection. So that's how I define happiness. And if you ask me another day, I might find another way to express it. But on this Woohoo Wednesday, that's how I want to share a little piece of inspiration. I'd love to hear your insights and inspirations too. How do you define happiness? And what have you learned that makes you happy, that is not dependent on external conditions? So I'd love to hear more of your thoughts on this thread. Please leave your comments right now or anytime after this video is over. I'm going to definitely check the thread and connect with you. And please come back next Wednesday. I'll be doing another video every week at this time. And if you want to find out more about the mentorship, private mentorship that I do, private sessions, or the courses that I offer, I have actually a really beautiful online course right now that I'm gifting this month and next month called The Magical Sabbatical, Making Time for Yourself. Please go to my website, littlewoo.org, to access that gift right now. It's a 4-module course that I've been working on for 6 months, and I'd love to gift it to you during this time. And if you want to find out about my programs and other things that I'm doing, my website has all that information. And also, if you want to send me your questions, you can do it on Facebook, littlewoo.muse, or you can email me at treasures@littlewoo.org. And I love to hear from you, love to hear your existential questions, and especially if I see a double question that is showing up a lot, then I know that that question is important to you. Every time you like or comment on one of my videos, it helps me understand what you're interested in hearing about, what you'd like me to talk about, and this is one of the ways that I'd like to help. So sending you love from the Mermaid Pirate Lagoon. Mwah.